There are currently a number of unemployed graduates in the system, and these graduates have been coming from one institution to the other, all in the name of searching for jobs. They've been given the platform to face interview panel, but I can say, unfortunately, a lot of them couldn't sail through and to no avail. Job search has been a major issue in the system. You could be given a chance, though, to face interview panel, but what do you possess? Today, we'll be delving into job searching. And to assist me do the discussion, on my right is the operations manager for North Vivon, Mr. Andrew Osu Mensah. Welcome, sir. And to the extreme left is Mr. Dennis Intim Banahene. Welcome, sir. Job searching. What comes to mind when we say job searching?
Okay, thank you very much for this great opportunity. When we talk about job search, it basically means employing for a vacancy which suits your qualification. Basically, that's what I would say. So when talking about job search, it doesn't mean that when you just go up to any organization and apply for a job. No, you have some certain criteria you have to search before you apply for the job.
So, for example, I've been desperate for a job for a very long time, and I happen to chance on job opportunity in the dailies. What do you expect me to do?
Okay, to begin with, you have to check whether the employer or the company is really vacant for an employee or a job applicant. If not, you cannot apply. But if there is a vacancy, you also have to check your qualification. For example, if you're an SHS graduate and we are making employment for university graduates, you don't qualify. So automatically, you cannot apply for such job. This is the main or one of the main reasons that many people do not qualify for jobs in Ghana, especially.
And as Dennis said, mostly we just jump on jobs. When we see the adverts on the radio, we hear it on radio, we see it on newspapers or on TV, we just apply. Now, what we have to look out for as an unemployed person, you want to do a job search, you want to apply for a job. First, look at the job description, what the job is looking for, the qualification, the experience that the job is looking for. Then you tailor your curriculum vitae to suit that particular job. Okay, we all have different background, different experience, but every experience has a particular job that is suited for. So you don't just use your whole experience to apply for a particular job. You look at the job description, then you tailor your CV to suit that job. Yes.
Oh, okay. Coming to the CV, for example, I've chanced on this advertisement in the newspaper, and per the description, I see myself to qualify. Can I all of a sudden begin to write my CV, or do you have somebody who has the expertise to help us write these CVs?
Okay. With my experience in the recruitment industry, what I have learned is that employers look out for so many things in a CV when presented to them. So you don't just put everything on a paper and submit for employment. No, as I said, you look at the job description. So the skill that you have that suit that particular job, you put those skills on your CV. Okay. And if you don't have the skills to do it, we have experts who knows how to go about CV writing, fill the gap that you have in there, what to put in there, what not to put in there. But my advice to anyone putting up a CV is that pay attention to the gaps that you have. At times, we think that when I leave the gaps there, the employer will find me pitiful, or the employer will have mercy on me, that, oh, I've stayed in the house for a very long time, so we should employ such a person. No, it's rather the opposite. They rather see you to be someone who has wasted a lot of time.
Exactly.
Okay. So I've come across a lot of CVs that you'll see from university, national service, the person was home doing nothing. The person will bring that CV for job. When I start a CV, what I see, oh, this person is, excuse my language, a bit rusty, or the person is rusted. The person has been in the house for a year, 6 months, 5 months, doing nothing. Such a CV will be put aside. You won't go through it. So in doing your CV, try as much as possible to fill the gaps, either with freelance jobs, personal jobs. You did something that made use of your knowledge, or something that made you think, so that you wouldn't be that rusty.
Yeah, and to add to it, most employers look out for experience in your CV. So when you come with your CV and you have so many gaps in it, automatically yours will be put aside. So for example, if I am an employer and two people bring their CVs, one has 2 years experience and the other has like 6 months. And when I check for the 2 years, maybe the person was a voluntary worker. I could see that the person really wants to work. The person is not working for the money, but the person works for experience. For that matter, I will select the one with the most number of years of experience. So filling of gaps, it's very important in the CV writing.
Coming to the CV and the gaps, as you say, the gaps that you had already spoken on. I want to know. So if I have to fill the gaps, I'm being tempted to lie in a way. I don't know if you get my point. So, for example, I was in the house probably from 2022 to 2023. That 1 year period, I was in the house. I was not doing anything, basically not doing anything. But here is the case: I have to carve my resume such that it should be able to convince the employer.
Okay.
Am I not being tempted to, as it were, lie?
Yeah. So the CV is a written biography, a written background of the person presenting it. So in the first place, if you could stay at home for 1 year without a job or without doing anything, it means that it gives the employer an impression that you are lazy. In quotes, you are lazy. You cannot just stay in the house for 1 year without doing anything. You have to get something doing. That is why most employers include in their requirements that they want someone with experience. Not for anything. You can do a voluntary work, as I said. The experience is not only paid. Even when we were in the university, we had unpaid internships. So all those internships give us experience. So all of those count as experiences. So it's not only paid works that give experience.
All right. Mr. Andrew, we are done. We are almost done with the CV. So, for example, my CV is intact. I'll be called upon to come for an interview. How should I prepare for the interview?
Okay, when people hear about interview, they tend to panic a lot. Interview is like writing an exams. If you don't prepare, you panic and you fail. Okay, so the moment you apply for the job, as I said, you know the job description, what the job is looking for. You know all that. The next thing that you have to do is read about the company that you are applying to. Companies like it when applicants or employees know much about the company. That means you have an interest in the company. You're not just applying for applying sake. For instance, you are applying to a school to teach. You don't know the background of the school, the type of curriculum they operate, and you've applied. That would be a failure on your part. So first, you go into the background of the company you're applying to. You know what they do. Okay, that's one aspect of it. You know the job description already. So if a question should come to you on the job that you're applying for, you already know the description, you can answer. When a question should come to you about the company that you're applying to, you know about the company, you can answer. And another thing that I would say is that your confidence level is very, very key. Employers call employees or applicants for interview not because they want to talk to them, no. They want to see your confidence level, how you handle things under pressure. As I said, interviews are like an exam. It puts pressure on everybody. So they call for a face-to-face interview to see how you're able to compose yourself or the composure that you put out when you are under pressure. Because every job comes with pressure. So the next thing I said is your confidence level. Try as much as possible, rehearse the questions or rehearse your answers in front of a mirror. You ask the questions yourself, you answer them yourself. Or you can find your peers, you find your friends to sit down to listen to you. You can find your family members to sit down to listen to what you are saying. Someone that can correct you when maybe you go wrong. Okay, so you practice with them to build your confidence. Yeah.
Oh, there is your submission brings an interesting one. This follow up. You keep on repeating confidence, confidence. So I face the interview panel. All of a sudden, I begin to shiver. How do I get the confidence to meet them equally?
Yeah. So, for instance, you've gone to an interview room, you've met a very high delegated panel. The appearance of such people will just bring your confidence down. Okay, but what you have to do is you calm yourself down. Okay, you take in some deep breaths. You breathe in, you breathe out. To calm you, it works. You calm yourself down first. And you have what you call the icebreaker. Okay, when you go into an interview room, at times the panel help you to break the ice. They will ask you the most easiest of all interview questions. Tell us about yourself. That question is to help you break the ice. That question is to help you put you in a mood that you are most comfortable with. Because you're talking about yourself. You know yourself much better than any other person in the room.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that question, you start with the most PowerPoint, the point that puts you up there. It's not where you to talk about your age, your family, your your hometown. No, that one's already on your CV.
Yeah.
Talk about your quality that puts you out. The thing that will let the panel be interested in you. So use that as an icebreaker. And in the middle of the interview, when you see that the tension keeps going up, okay, there's no rule that stops you from passing a funny comment in an interview. You can pass a funny comment, get the panel to laugh. They will calm down with the tension themselves, so you to be able to relax.
Yeah. All right. This brings me to an interesting moment that I recall. My father used to tell me that when you're about to write an exams or you're about to face an interview panel, first of all, heave a sigh of relief, regardless. Just heave a sigh of relief. And also put it at the back of your mind that one is for you to impress them, not necessarily answering and getting the questions right.
Yes.
So that comes in what Mr. Andrew said, the confidence level. Even when you are lying, just because of your confidence level, you'll be able to win their hearts.
We lie with confidence.
Exactly. Any other ideas?
So yeah, on the confidence level too, I always say that in an interview, the interview starts immediately. The first panelist asks the first question. So it is natural and it's normal to be frightened when you get to an interview room. That is why they always ask them the easiest question. Tell me about yourself. So if you are talking about yourself and you are still frightened, it means that you are not confident enough to face the panel. So with that one, if you are not really careful, you might fail the interview. And one other thing that employers check, but we employees take for granted, is appearance.
Very well.
Some people will go for interview and they will be in t-shirts and sandals. No, if we all agree, this interview is not our culture, it's from the Western world.
Exactly.
So everything we are doing must be from the Western world. And their formal way of dressing is in shirts, tie, shoe, and if possible, a blazer.
Yeah.
So if or indeed you cannot wear the blazer, you can put on a shirt, a tie, and a shoe. But you cannot, in Ghana here, I am saying in Ghana, unless of course there are certain restrictions, you must be in the normal official wear for the interview. But some people wear African wear to interview, which is not so much appropriate. So many of our employers will reject you because of such kind of dressing. So we should all take note of that.
Very well. Our interaction is getting more interesting, except that we are almost running out of time. Do you have your last words so we can quit for the interview? Any last words?
Well, what I would say to end is still on the confidence level. I've had the opportunity to be on a number of panels for an interview. where my main duty was to bring down the applicant's confidence level. Okay, so try as much as definitely there will be someone there targeted at you to bring your confidence level down. It's intentional. You do that. So with that, what I did was comment about the person's dressing, as Dennis was saying. The person was in suit, all right, but I had to still find something to see how the person will respond to anger. So I just had to comment on his shoe, his belt combination. And when I said that, I could see that his tempo was going up. You see, in his head, he has done everything right.
Yeah.
How that small thing, I'm picking him up on that. But that wasn't for him to get angry.
Just by the way.
compose yourself.
Exactly.
Yes. So you can just compose yourself.
Yes, the composure and temperament, as Andrew was saying, I remember I was on that panel with him, and when he passed that comment, we could see how the person's temper went up. And there are so many ways you work with people. You are working with people, so we check your temperament. So if you are not humble enough or to take in, you are not tolerant. If you are not tolerant, most of our employers will not employ you because you cannot tell me you are a PR and have this high temper. No one will employ you. So when you go to interview, your composure and temperament must be 100%.
Thank you very much, guys. I think we'll be able to delve proper into job search and how somebody should compose him or herself when you face interview panel. Thank you very much, Mr. Andrew, the operations manager, and Mr. Dennis, the project manager. We know next time when we call you to engage in the discussion, we wouldn't hesitate to join. Thank you very much, and thank you, Alde. Enjoy your day. Bye.